Hello Capricorn, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your March 2020 tarot check for all Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So glad to have you back and joining me. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, liked, commented, and shared my videos. I really appreciate that, and it's fun to co-create with all of you. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, or if you're new to my channel, and hit that bell if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, which is about every week. So I do a monthly, a mid-monthly, typically some weeklies, sometimes a bonus. And for those of you that are new, I also did an overview of the entire Rider-Waite deck if you're interested in learning more about the cards. So here we go. What is going on for Capricorn for March 2020? Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now at the end, we're going to do an Abraham Hicks Money and the Law of Attraction card. But these do a really great job of an overall explanation of the law of attraction. So they're not just specified to money. So your current position, interesting, you got the 7 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. Your destiny is the Ace of Cups. In the distant past, you've got Temperance. More recent past, King of Wands. Coming towards you, got a little bit of worry here, though, with the 8 of Swords, self-imposed. Then you're the Queen of Swords. You've got the Queen of Wands. And then in the final position, you do have Death, which is interesting because another sign also had Death. And I actually think that's a very transformative energy for you guys. So I don't redo readings. I would never do that because that's, in this case, it really has to do more with you expanding your own beliefs. So you've been putting your time into some things, and it is paying off, by the way. So if you've been working hard, or for some of you, if you've taken a new job or you're going to take a new job, it's definitely going to be lucrative for you. And you're, again, you're kind of looking back and taking stock of things, taking inventory of things, looking at where do I want to go in my life. And I do feel like this new job is going to lead to more material possessions. So with the 9 of Pentacles, that's also the single lady card. So some of you might be single right now, but the 9 of Pentacles is also about manifesting. Could be like a car, a house, something like that. I feel like whatever changes you're doing financially are definitely going to lead to then a physical manifestation in your reality. So it's not just like a lateral move. It's actually going to create some momentum financially that will show up in terms of, like I said, a house, a car, something bigger, even a bigger apartment or something like that. Now your destiny is the Ace of Cups. So this is definitely about some new things coming in. And in terms of love, this is a never-ending unconditional cup of love. So when I look at this, some of you may have a new relationship that's starting, and that's going to bring you a little bit of uncertainty where I feel like you're just not quite sure what to do. Some of you might be attached, and actually, I'm getting this for somebody who is involved is going to meet somebody, and they're going to wonder if they're in the right thing, and it's going to bring up some turmoil. I do think some of you that are going to experience this, or if you already have, are probably going to leave the first relationship for this person. So I know people don't like this kind of stuff in a reading, but I have to give it to you straight. Otherwise, what's the point of even doing this? But that's not a bad outcome. If you're not meant to be with somebody, I don't feel like it's going to happen to you. It's you moving away. So, especially if some of you are kind of looking around and going, I've got this knob laying next to me that I'm kind of sick of, but I can't break free of this. I just cannot let go of things. You are going to be put in a situation where you're going to let go of it if that's what needs to happen. Now, this is only for some of you. It's not for everybody here, but I definitely get a pretty overwhelming feeling about that for somebody that's watching this. And that's where the angst comes in too, because you don't want to hurt anybody. I'm going to go off on this for a second. You don't want to hurt anybody, but you're just like overwhelmingly attracted to this person. And it's like an undeniable thing. And the more you try to stay in what you're in, the more you want to leave. So, anyway, that's not for everybody here, but if that resonates with you, it's all going to work out. And the other person, whoever you're involved with, they know it too. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be the right thing for everybody. So in the more distant past, this is probably like more like 9 months or even a year ago, you definitely had a time where you're kind of, this again could be related to this relationship, where you're kind of going with the flow, kind of one day at a time. But I do think it might have gotten somewhat mundane, where it was just like going through the grind, kind of like two roommates. It just there wasn't a lot of excitement left in it. However, for some of you, I think I mentioned like on the career front here, this was a time where I feel like you were putting in a lot of work and not looking for much in response. So you were putting in the hours, but you never went to your boss and said, hey, I'm doing all this and I feel like I need a raise, or I should get some compensation. I don't feel like it was like that, but I do think it was a time too where you may have gone through some real healing too. But it's like, with this, this is also your Sagittarius energy too. But with this, there's this path behind them, and it just doesn't go in a linear fashion. It kind of winds around, and that's just like life. But overall, I do think you went through a period where, you were just kind of like doing things in moderation, going with the flow. Again, kind of status quo. And then you did, not too long ago, started to take some action with this King of Wands. I think that got a little bit boring for you, and you got to the point, Capricorn, where you just needed more. Some of you might have started like really investing in yourselves too, like where you started working out, or you've lost a lot of weight, or you've been, maybe you kind of let your appearance slide for a little bit, and you've recognized that and thought, I know how I can present myself. I know how I feel best. And this is not it anymore. And that can happen too in relationships or jobs or things like that, where we get comfortable and we just kind of stop investing in ourselves. But I think you've had a resurgence of that and recognition that I really do need to take good care of myself. And temperance too is kind of about that, where it's like one day at a time and self-care. I feel like that has been an energy that has come forward towards you, and you've been working on some things to improve yourself. It may even be too, like even taking action to clean things out and clean things up around you and just get more organized. And sometimes when we start doing that, it's because we are going to manifest a change, and we vibrationally know it, and we start to do things without even really realizing it to prepare ourselves, which is awesome. But then coming towards you, you do have this Eight of Swords. And again, this is a self-imposed thing, but it's like you feel very trapped in a situation, and you're having a hard time really knowing which way to go. It's like you need more clarity. So when you get like this, and if you're feeling like this now, you want to ask your higher self, what do I need to know? What do I need to see in this situation? Show me what I need to see clearly. Now, sometimes if you do that kind of thing right before a meditation, your ego will start to tell you yes and give you direction, so you don't want to do that. But it's okay, after meditation, you clear your mind, get your mind clear, completely cleared of thoughts. Find some ambient sound to just focus on, and as soon as the thoughts come, just let them go. And when you come out of that 10 to 15 minutes of meditation, then ask the questions. And throughout the day, you'll be shown signs and synchronicities and all kinds of things. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I one time was sitting in my car. I had just gotten a brand new car the week before, and something was there was unrest in my life in an area, and I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and they told somebody, well, there's a pony in this somewhere, and walking down my sidewalk was a group of people with a pony. I live in a residential neighborhood, and apparently there was like a pony for a kid's birthday, but I've lived here for 18 years. I've never seen a pony. So it was right after she said there's a pony in this somewhere. So it's stuff like that. So pay attention and know that that's the universe communicating with you. Also, too, a lot of times the universe communicates in numbers. So those number synchronicities are often indicating and telling you you are on the right track. So I mentioned you need clarity, and here it comes. So this is telling you you may need to speak up in this situation, and I know it might be hard to initiate for some of you. Now, for some of you, if it's a work-related thing where you've been putting in a lot of time, I mentioned you haven't really asked for anything, it may be time to set a boundary. You know, again, this is like you're in a very intelligent mindset when you're in this kind of energy. You're very good at, you know, logical thinking, thinking through what would be the best way to communicate, and you'll be an incredible communicator with this energy. And it's very quick. Like it will, to have this conversation will free you up. So don't be afraid if you know you need to have a conversation. And the person around you, it's interesting because you're a queen and so are they. They will take action. So if you need to go to your boss or whoever and talk, they are going to take action. If it's a relationship, again, on both sides are going to take action, because I do feel like there could be two people involved in this. Somebody that you need to let go of, and they're going to be okay with that. It's just that awkwardness of like somebody needs to say this, but neither one of you are. So with this Queen of Wands too, you know, I do feel like the person coming towards you is not going to be bothered by whatever this other relationship is. They are going to understand it. They're kind of got a gentleness to them. You know, it's somebody who's developed like in terms of a career, but they're understanding and very nurturing. But this too is also representative that it's going to be okay to stand in your own power and do what's right for you, Capricorn. So your desires here, you do want to get an offer. You're very interested in getting some type of an offer here. And I think, again, the money is going to manifest for sure. I don't have any doubts about that. I think the love's a little messier. I do think long term, you're going into a very transformative energy. Now, excuse me, I think if some of you are dealing with a Scorpio coming towards you, like that's your love interest, then here you go. They're very strongly represented in that position, and certainly through this card. So this is all about, you know, you have to end something to begin something new. And it's about the ending and the beginning of a new cycle. So for you to manifest a new love, you have to completely clear out anything old. So if it wasn't that serious of a relationship, but you've got still somebody hanging on, you need to move forward from that. And the new energy will be brought in. You'll allow it to be brought in. Some of you are squeezing it off, or you're almost like filtering it through. So you're getting tiny little bits, but you're not getting enough to really become anything. So you definitely have someone, if you have not met them already, you're going to very soon. But it's possibly you've known them a little bit, and it just hasn't, you know, there hasn't been anything like in terms of, you know, real development, but it's definitely going to happen. So, very good. So your Abraham Hicks card here, the subject of money is really two subjects. The subject of money is really two subjects. One, money, plenty of money, and two, absence of money, not nearly enough money. Often people assume that because they are speaking the words, I want more money, they are speaking positively about money. When you are feeling fear or discomfort as you speak, you are not speaking of the subject of money, you are speaking of the subject of not enough money. And the difference is very important because the first subject brings money and the second holds it away. So it's the same thing with love, okay? The same way. So for those of you that are resonating more with the love part of that, you know, you really just want to change out the money and put in the love. So, you know, speaking of having those attractions come towards you, because they're here for you. There are billions of people out there for you. So I love you so much, Capricorn, and thank you for joining me again. Or if you're new, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again soon, and I will see you then.